next few minutes, you are going to see what I've been dealing with for the past 2 years. Started with just, being an athlete my whole life, to a college athlete, and then transferring to Miami, not being a part of a team, and where I went from there. So I hope you enjoy it, and afterwards I'm going to talk about what topics I connected my story to, with some topics we've talked about in class. So before I actually show you the videos and the pictures of what I've been dealing with for the past few years, I just wanted to outline what this video is going to represent. And so I talk about two things we've talked about in class. One, the concept of gender and ideology, and an article we read by Messner. And so I just point out a few points and quotes that he said, being our professor and Messner. And so I then connected it to my experience with orthorexia, which I put the description of it in previous slides. But it was basically it's basically an obsession with eating healthy, and I weigh all my food, I track all my food. And so that's what really got me to the eating disorder, because it became a habit. And so I talk about some of the body images and how men are perceived more superior than women, and how women are a marketable item. And so I'm going to go talk more about that in depth in the video. And then what I bring it all to is what I want to do in the future, regarding my experience and how I want to help others. So, like I said before, I hope you enjoy the video. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me, hope for us because I believe.
Orthorexia has been a very difficult disease to have in the family, because the first thing that goes through your mind is total fear. Any kind of anorexia can be fatal, and that's what you focus on. And I have numerous friends whose children have been through this, and their heart rate has gone down to the low 20s. And when people found out that Lauren had this, they were all coming up to me and saying, "Is Lauren okay? You've got to get her some help immediately. Please watch her heart rate, get her in for checkups, send her to a place that will take care of her completely." So there's total fear is the first thing. The second part is anger, because you watch your loved one doing something to herself that she doesn't really know that she's doing, and you can't control it. And I know so much about this is about control, and it's frustrating as a family to see your loved one just looking ill, and hoping and praying that she will eventually come around to see that she does need the help.
So the first topic that I connected my story to was something we talked about in class, and it was gender and ideology towards the beginning of the semester. And one of the things that we went over that kind of bothered me was that how we tend to think that men are naturally superior to women that involve activities, especially being physical, emotional skills, and strength. And so I'm just reading from my computer what I wrote down. And that just bothered me, because I've been working my entire life, and I'm sure everyone who has been an athlete, whether you're male or female, has been developing that strength. Women can be stronger than men, and I think we just tend to focus so much on what society thinks and conform to those, which, I mean, I definitely have by putting a lot of stress on. And another thing that bothered me was the cultural emphasis on the cosmetic fitness, which was a little article we read, and how girls have the ponytails and the makeup and tight clothes, especially the tight clothes thing, which I could definitely relate to being a volleyball player. I just remember in high school, some of my guy friends, I'd be so excited to invite them to a volleyball game, and they would just be like, oh yeah, definitely, we're definitely coming to it because like we want to see girls' butts right up in their tight spandex. And so that hit me. That was probably one of the first things that really got to my mind, and wondered, oh, like, how do I look in that? Or am I too big? Am I too fat for this? Like, what's going on? So those are the two under gender and ideology that I connected my story to. The second topic that I connected my past and present story to was Messner's article called "Sport and Male Domination: The Female Athlete as Contested Ideological Terrain." And on page 199, he talks about how sport appears as a sphere of activity outside of society, and it appears to involve natural, physical, and capacities, which presents these ideological images as if they were natural. And they are natural. I mean, coming from someone who's 92 pounds in last spring to someone now who's become more into the bodybuilding, when I was 92 pounds, I couldn't squat the amount I can squat now. It really just builds. And the other was how, the female body became a marketable item to sell numerous products and services, which was on page 200. And no, that's all I can really say. I mean, when I think about that, it hurts because we see so many girls on magazines, TV, like half naked because they're either airbrushed, photoshopped, and it's just so wrong to have these separate norm from male and female regarding sports. And then the third one was the quoting from Messner, "Female bodybuilding has become the first female identified standard of beauty," on page 203. And as I've mentioned before, coming from an athlete, being a part of a team, and now that I'm not a part of a team, I've become more into bodybuilding because it's something individual and something that I want to compete against myself. And I mean, you can look at it in a positive way, how they connect it to beauty, but I also look at it in a negative way as well, because yes, I want to compete in the future, but training as if I'm actually going to get on stage. I don't care to get on stage and have judges judge me in a bikini. That's just, for me, that's wrong. But I want to train as if I'm competing, if that makes any sense. So those are the 3 main points that really stuck out to me and connected it to who I was and who I am today. So now that I've brought up a few topics that we talked about this semester, I just wanted to mention where and how I think this stemmed from. And my mom said I've always been an athlete. Even when she was pregnant with me, she said that I was playing soccer every day in her stomach. And have played soccer, volleyball, tennis, ice hockey, lacrosse, swimming, golf, everything that you can imagine. And so I was asking her the other day while I was thinking about this video, and she thinks that it came from the amount of pressure of being a college athlete, from having 4 workouts a day to being monitored on the road while taking the exam from your coach, to having your coach give us a revised menu at every restaurant we went out to eat before a game. And if we were to order something that was not specifically told that we could order, he would find out and bench that person. And so looking now into my future, what I plan on doing is going into these inpatient, outpatient places and really just telling my story and helping those who need help and who have been developing some symptoms that I did. And another thing that I want to do is I just want to make females just feel as important as they are, and as strong as they are, and show that they are so much more than what they see themselves in the mirror, because I know that's a huge issue for me, especially body dysmorphia. And I mean, I've been stuck in this body and my uncontrollable mind for 2 years now, with voices constantly telling me how ugly I am, and just battling this monster inside has really, some days, opened my eyes, others I'm just in a complete fog. So just my biggest thing for the future is helping those in need and really helping them connect to someone who they are deep inside. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please, if anyone you know feeling symptoms or going through any eating disorder, please reach out and get help immediately, because I'm still recovering. I know people who took 9 years to recover and who've had it their whole lives. So please seek help immediately, and I hope you enjoyed this video. In the slide after the next, I posted the link to the National Eating Disorder Association. So if you know of anyone that is dealing with any kind of eating disorder, please have them go on to this website. It gives them every kind of advice, every treatment you need. It's a really big support group. So I highly recommend checking that out. And again, thanks for watching.